Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Modern. And this is from Patreon subscriber K Renegade, who donated on behalf of a friend whose name I did not receive. So shout out to K Renegade's friend for sending in this deck. This is, of course, Devoted Druid combo. Classic combo that has existed since its run in Standard. There was a Standard Legal Devoted Druid combo deck with Quill Spike. And it has just gotten more and more tools over the years. There was a time this was a #1 Modern deck. That time is in the rear view. Modern's gotten a lot faster, a lot more disruptive. Grief, tough for this deck. Fury, tough for this deck. Orcish Bowmaster, tough on Vizier of Remedies. I guess that's not even true. You can make infinite mana in response. Never mind. Comment withdrawn. Counterspell. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's happened in the format that made both the format faster and specifically more hostile to creature-based combo decks. But that's okay, because we got some new tools too. Tyvar, Jubilant Brawler. Forgive the awful treatment that is on my screen right now. I didn't realize which one was being sent to me. I would have changed it. But this thing gives your creatures fake haste, so they can activate their abilities as if they had haste, which is really good for your Mana Dork deck that normally has to start the turn with your Dork in play to do anything. Tyvar skips that. Tyvar also mills 3 cards and then can reanimate a creature with mana value 2 or less, like Devoted Druid. You get to turn 2 your Devoted Druid. If they kill it, you can Tyvar, rebuy it, and it has fake haste, and you can immediately get 2 mana out of it and keep the party going. Pretty cool stuff. I have played versions of this on the channel before after Tyvar came out. It's been a little while, but Giver of Runes being a protection spell on the turn immediately when you're ready to go off. Stoneforge Mystic, just if you have 4 mana, here's Cauldra. Have fun with that. Just lots of cool stuff going on with the deck. The combo is, of course, Devoted Druid and stopping it from getting -1 counters or stopping -1 counters from being relevant. Vizier of Remedies. If 1 or more -1 counters will be put on a creature you control, put that many -1. That means Devoted Druid can put a -1 counter on itself to untap. 1 -1 is 0, so it puts 0 counters on itself. Untaps, you have infinite green mana with these 2 cards. Also works. Luxior, Giada's Gift. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each counter on it. If you get +1/+1 for every -1/-1 counter on you, guess what? You are the same size at the end of that. Also infinite mana. Gradient Longbow. Once you have infinite mana, you play it, you equip it, and then you get infinite pings because you can untap your creature infinite time. That's a win condition. Shalai, Voice of Plenty. 4 GG. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. That's infinite damage in combat. Plus, as long as she's around, you and your planeswalkers and other creatures you control have hexproof. Player protection and win con built together. Ranger Captain of Eos. It's a silence. You can make your opponent unable to cast spells for the turn, and it tutors Walking Ballista or Giver of Runes. Pretty sweet. Lots of cool overlapping little tricksy things in here. This particular build is playing Aether Vial. Some builds have it, some builds don't. Some builds have various degrees of commitment to Stoneforge Mystic. This one is all in on the 4, with Cauldron and Batterskull as beaters, and Verdian Longbow and Luxior as win con or setup. And we got Eladamri's Call for any of the creatures, Tyvar to rebuy stuff from the graveyard, and the relatively new Cosmic Rebirth that has been popping up in decks like this. Choose target permanent card in your graveyard. If it's mana value 3 or less, which is like almost all of them in the deck, put it onto the battlefield. If you don't put it into your hand, and you gain 3 life as a bonus. This can be just ramp. Like, you can target a fetch land, gain 3 life, put your fetch land into play, and have a bonus mana jump from 3 to 5. And that could represent comboing all at once. That's like Tyvar plus Devoted Druid on turn 4. Or, you know, it gets back any of these objects, get back to the Ranger Cap for another round of silencing, just value card in general. We got creature beats with Stoneforge, we got combo with Devoted Druid, all in this little Abzan shell. Meta's kind of hostile, but I do believe that some folks who are generally understood to be very skilled at Magic, took this to the Pro Tour or something similar to it, some version of Devoted Druid combo. I don't know how they did, but it was present by some people who really did the work. And that's what this deck is. Let's go do it. This is K Renegade's Friends Devoted Druid combo. I'm on the play in round 1 with a protection spell into a Druid. We need a payoff for Druid, but also just accelerate a Batterskull if nothing else is going on here. But this hand is pretty solid. A card I didn't mention in the deck tech, but is kind of relevant, is the One Ring. As long as somebody is protected from the One Ring, I can't do my infinite combo shenanigans, or at least infinite combat damage. What you can do is play Walking Ballista as like a 30-30 or whatever, and then just pass and roast them in their upkeep. But that line does get punished. Oh, speaking of punished, got that MTGO Thoughtseize bug. Remember that card you just took? Here it is. You can, anyway, you can pass with, hold on, I'll finish that thought after I figure out what land I need. What are my black cards? Tyvar is the black card in the deck. So I kind of do want that because Tyvar is a good draw. Do I need more white or more green? I'm going to have a bunch of green off Devoted Druid. Probably just grab Godless Shrine here. Sure. Anyway, the thing I was trying to spit out is if you just put Walking Ballista in play, big enough to kill your opponent and pass into their upkeep, you can light them up. What the giant punish is, and I will become the Joker if it happens to me, is if my opponent's hiding behind the ring, they can let me just completely combo off, put a 30-30 Walking Ballista into play, which takes a lot of clicks, a lot of time in this deck, and at the end of it, they can just like fatal push my Walking Ballista in the end step while they still have protection, and it's just completely miserable. You spend a ton of time and just lose. Okay, well, that happens. She can't protect herself, but I did get this Batterskull in. Okay, B-Skull in play versus Rakdos something or other. Might be Scam, but they had a pretty slow start if it's Scam. Orcish Bowmaster, check this out. They're going to kill my Devoted Druid, but I'm going to untap it in response to kill itself, which fizzles the army trigger. It was going to die anyway. Let's not give them a 1-1. And now it's time to figure out if they can beat Batterskull. Oh, what's up, Tyvar? I like this. I think this might actually be better getting Giver of Runes and just go coast to coast with this B-Skull. Horizon Canopy, Tyvar, minus... I would like a creature, yes. And I would like Giver of Runes. And attack my opponent. And I think it's worth taking the one. They have discard spells in their deck. Let's just put Haywire Might into play. It's a blocker. It's life gain. It answers Blood Moon. Or no, it doesn't because my Devoted Druid's gone. If Tyvar ticks up again, it'll answer Haywire Might. Or answer Blood Moon. Dothy Voidwalker. Okay. Little late to the party on that one, but it is a potent piece in this deck. Oh, remember the thing I said about Here's Kaldra? Well, we're there. Stoneforge Mystic. Yes. Get Kaldra. I have Fake Haste. Fire it right in. This is sweet. I don't know if it's going to win, but it's certainly sweet. Even get to untap Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. Creature plan going off. Tyvar looking good. Looks like we are playing against Scam. Against this deck, I like Blossoming Calm. That stuff's basically all their discard spells and stuff. Veil of Summer stuff's like most of their deck. I feel like 2 Veil and 2 Blossoming Calm in the graveyard is like a lot of the same thing. Blossoming Calm, obviously much better versus specifically Burn. But Veil of Summer is a better card versus Scam. I don't know. This seems like a lot of the same thing, but Scam is a top deck right now, so you might as well rock it. Okay, the second copy of Haywire Might, I don't think I need. Sanctifier Envec, I feel like is something I want. Hushbringer jacks the stack up. They do get to... It enables creature scamming, but it turns off like all of the stuff they actually want to be doing. I can even see Endurance and Solitude. Do I just go no combo, green-white value deck? I'm gonna explore that. I have a minute 49 to figure this out, if this is how this is gonna work. I do have basic lands and mana dorks in my deck. How much do I have to respect Blood Moon? So if I cut all my Viziers, I've already cut a Haywire Might, so I've got to make sure I count that one. And Cosmic Rebirth, Suspicious versus the Dothy Voidwalker deck. Giver is good. Aether Vial's a really bad card in just Haymaker matchups like this one, because you need to have it early and take it up and still have stuff in your hand by the time it wants to pop, which is a lot to ask. Viridian Longbow seems pretty bad. And if I'm just full big chunky mode, Outland Liberator is not textless in the matchup. Is there something worse than that still on the deck? Luxior is still here. I could still make infinite mana in one way right now. Do I want to leave one in? And do I need all these Eldamri's calls if I'm not trying to get this together? Okay, I think I am going to leave Luxior in the deck. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm going to run it like this. Just become Abzan creatures. This game's a deck full of disruptive elements and spot removal, and being a creature combo deck versus that setup sounds awful. Hey, we got to get one on the draw, though. See how hot they come in. Thoughtseize is the play. I have 2 Givers, and then they can decide between Stoneforge and Hushbringer which one they want to take. Stoneforge gone immediately. Hushbringer does turn off Stoneforge, it's kind of like unfortunate. Turns off Endurance too. The Hushbringer is not free for me. I think it's probably still good though. Eladamri's Call. Yeah, I'm just gonna bring the Hush. Not attacking. I can pitch Eladamri's Call to get a 3/4 into play, because the Endurance will stick around. I don't think that's worth doing, though. Missing this land drop is tough, but let's hope we get some traction somewhere. One is on the old nothing at all plan. I wonder what that means. Either they have some big move that's just going to lock me out of the game, or they kept a handful of ETB triggers that Hushbringer is shutting down. All right, explosives for 1. That's the sort of thing that can hang out for a while and walk a second creature into it. I'm going to give Pro Black in response. Okay, do I want a 3/4 creature in play? I don't think so. Still kind of have hope for Endurance, the card. I can decide what I want to do with Eladamri's Call in the end step. It is an instant. There's no Dryad Arbor. Fatal Push. Alright, see you later. They've achieved stability. Now what? Yeah, missing lane number 3 and just not being able to do anything else. Unfortunate. I've got an Eladamri's Call before they can Voidwalk. Don't want them to have access to that. And now the coast is clear for Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, let's get that going. They killed my Hushbringer generously. The land number 3. Nice of you to show up. Still doesn't cast Tyvar. And I'm going to get Kaldra and just commit to the thing that kills them the hardest and is the hardest to answer. If they Thoughtseize me for the Kaldra, I can Solitude their Voidwalker so they don't end up with Kaldra, at least. They're also at hardcast Fury mode, hardcast Grief mode. It's all there. Okay. Fury. They can't do anything with a Stoneforge Mystic. I'm not going to fight over that. They know I have Endurance in my hand. They have not seen the Solitude or the Shalai. A legendary land. Cool. I can Shalai right now, but then I have to take a bunch of damage. Yeah, I think I just want to hold up Endurance and try to trade with Fury here. But they're still firing in. They could have Fatal Push. They've been sitting on this fetch land for a while. They are delirious for Unholy Heat. They're no longer delirious. Okay, that's not what they have. And just like Lightning Bolt is pretty good here because they have first strike damage. Feign Death. Okay. If I Solitude this thing now, I lose Shalai, and then I basically have no cards. If they trade, opponent ends up with a 4/4 for next turn. I can Solitude the Voidwalker, and then I have to beat 4/4. 4/4 Double Strike is a tough beat in this deck in general. But then Solitude will be under the Voidwalker, and I still have no land to move forward in this game. I think I gotta do this, though. Yeah, I just don't have a good plan for 4/4 Fury. Okay. Black Source? Yeah, Black Source. Okay. I'm going to put Kaldra into play this turn. And then we're cooking. Oh, wait, no, I'm 1 mana short. Tilt. Okay, fine. Fine. Godless Shrine, get in there. Tyvar. Unfortunately, Tyvar has to mill 3 into the Voidwalker. This could give them, like, anything. But I do get to rebuy a different card. What did they get? They got Veil, Devoted Druid, Plains. Okay. I would like to return Stoneforge Mystic to play. Tutor at Batterskull. Okay, we have something resembling a plan. Oh, okay, no. I was about to, I thought I missed a land drop on the Viseju and could have put the Kaldra in, but no, I ripped the Black Source this turn. We're all good. They got 1 card in their hand. Pretty tasty Void. It would not surprise me to see Solitude on Stoneforge Mystic this turn. But if they do that, they have to leave Tyvar in play, and it unlocks my graveyard. Just depending on what that last card is. Oh no, they're tapping mana. Brutal. Okay. Well, that's gone. I can hardcast Batterskull next turn. Probably going to lose Tyvar here, and that ends up in the Void if they go for it. Yep. Top deck mode. What is it? Kroxa. Well, I hate that a lot. If I give them Kaldra, First Strike, Trample, Indestructible, Haste. I think I have to give them the Viseju and just hope that I draw a different mana source. Yeah, I hate that that doesn't move the game forward for me, but I can't just let them have Kaldra, I don't think. Oh, sick. Well, we can keep this party going, I guess. Keep checking their hand forever. They're in top deck mode. They have 3 cards for Kroxa right now if they want them all. Stoneforge for Luxior, which I'm going to keep in my hand. I'm not going to play it out. I'm going to keep that in my hand as Kroxa bait. Maybe just like draw a land one time. You've been hellbent for a couple turns. Just like put a tap Blackleaf Cliffs into play. All right, they're going for a Voidwalker. They've decided to cash in the Void. Probably for Solitude, would be my guess. Yep, there it is. But that does make 4 cards for Kroxa. I didn't count the Voidwalker. If they have a fetch land here, they can fire that. Oh, wow. All right. Not an awful draw. Let's see what it hits. Maybe, like, miss. That would be great. They hit Eladamri's Call, which they can't cast. Okay, that's fine. Come on, deck. I'm out of things for this, but this is still super annoying. Not going to attack here. They drew a land that gives them Kroxa. I have the Luxior I can discard. So their hand is Rag, and they can fire off Kroxa right now. Now we're playing Whack-A-Mole with my equipment versus Kroxa triggers. I think I would dash Ragavan if I were them. Because dashing Rag and attacking with Rag plus Solitude, one of them's going to get through. Because I'm not trading my Stoneforge here, and combat's not getting better for you as the game moves forward. Lair of the Hydra. Okay. I can discard this card to Kroxa and protect my equipment, or I can put it into play as a beater next turn. I think I need to hold Kaldra back to exile Kroxa if it tries to get rowdy, and then Batterskull can take over the game after that. I'm just going to be patient for 1 turn here. I wish that was any land other than that one. Going into combat, everything's coming. I have to put Kaldra in first, and then Kroxa So if Kroxa takes Lair, I go to 6. I block Kroxa and Rag. I go to 3. I dead a Bolt. Ew. I could let them connect. I could also just discard Batterskull, not take 3. Batterskull's so good, though. Oh, do I want to be dead to Lightning Bolt? That's such a tilt. I can take a hit from Rag. I can discard Batterskull, or I can just bet that they didn't draw Bolt. Those are the 3 things that I can do right now. I actually am going to discard Batterskull. I think this is the safest thing to do, even though I hate it. Block Kroxa, who will end up exiled. Block Ragavan, who will end up dead. I go to 6, and then I have to beat my own Solitude over the course of this game. Might have been needlessly cautious, but I'd rather be needlessly cautious than dead. Okay, get in with just Kaldra. Because once again, I don't want to lose to a single removal spell. Having 2 blockers up here, I'm trying not to fall into Bolt range. Okay, Solitude seems to be on life gain mode right here, unless they have, like... I mean, if they scam it, it comes back for me, right? I don't think they can do that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Bowmaster makes sense. That finishes off the Endurance, sure. They did have kind of a trick. Only kind of, though. I have Lair of the Hydra ready to fire up here. Ooh, a second Endurance. Making my life hard. Lair doesn't have any words. It's just the size that you make it. Opponent's at 9. Every removal spell kills this thing. I'm going to act like I forgot I have it and just ambush them with Endurance. Push with my damage. Double block. I will kill the Bowmaster itself. Opponent's at 4. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good, unless they double bolt me. 2 cards in hand. They were hellbent 3 turns ago. Cool. Abzan Stoneblade got it done. Who needs devoted Druid? On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. On the draw for round 2, I have a protection spell into a busted 2-drop. Let's go. My next land casts Tyvar as well. I am set up with my colors. A Verdant Catacomb strategy. Oh look, a Blood Crypt. Welcome to Modern. I'm getting scammed. Welcome to Modern. Okay, another scam opponent. This one is actually doing some scamming. The last opponent just mostly played Rakdos cards. They pitched a Voidwalker to do this. I'm glad to see that go. This is kind of a fun spot I have them in, because the givers are annoying, and I have 2 of them, and they have to stabilize my 1s and 2s before they can worry about my 3, but my 3 is really good at undoing everything they just did. Okay, ripping the basic planes is cool. I'm gonna hide that from them if I can. For as long as I can, anyway. Let's see what the follow-up is. Thoughtseize. Okay, yeah, pretty good. See you later, Tyvar. Alright, now we're in full top deck mode versus a 4-3 menace. Which, turn after next, I actually am stable against. I can just block with both my givers, and each gives each other protection. That gets blown out by any removal spell, but it's a line. Fury is a card that makes me not want to attack here. Because if I attack, it's the same thing against any spot removal spell, but Fury, I could save one of these givers by leaving one back. I'm going to continue their beats. I'm going to fetch a tapped black source this turn. And it's going to be Overgrown Tomb because I have basic planes ready. Hey, it's the thing I said. 1 card left in their hand. They must have a plan for all this. Or they're just doing it while it does anything, I guess. A pro red on your friend. See if they have a black removal spell or a scam to get this back. Nope. TBD. All right, Thoughtseize. Yeah, that was really just spend 2 cards to get a Give Verb Runes out of play before they were squeezed out. All right, Tyvar would be a very exciting draw here. Opponent's Hellbent. I have a protection spell set up. I have all my colors. I gotta survive against this 4/3 menace for a little while. And I'm at 9. I can take 2 hits from it. Overgrown Tomb, no damage, please. Tyvar? Tyvar. Haywire Might. Interesting. Okay, I mean, it's a thing I can put into play. I am going to attack this time. I don't care if they kill Haywire Might, and they're at 12. I'm not ready to chump block with Give Verb Runes yet. Might as well fire it. I would love for them to not draw Kroxa. Or Voidwalker. Ragavan. Okay. Didn't want to dash it. That's fair. Eladamri's Call. Hold the phone. What does this do? As far as 1-drops, not much. I can't cast Shalai. Ranger Cap could start grinding value over multiple turns if I think I have multiple turns. Like if I Eladamri's Call for Ranger Cap for Walking Ballista, I can trade Haywire Might for Ragavan this turn. If they even attack, I can just go to 1 if they don't. Then I put in Ranger Cap, who's big enough to tangle with Grief, who gets Walking Ballista, who can kill the next creature. Okay, I'm just gonna pass with no combat at this juncture and hope my opponent draws a blank. I will go to 1 if just Grief attacks. Okay. Grief and Rag. I'm trading with Rag. I gain 2 life, but it is a trigger. If they have Lightning Bolt, I will die in between. If they have Lightning Bolt, I die anyway. Oh, shit. Yeah, that works too. Sure. Like, Giver, I guess, could have protected Haywire Might, but I was kind of excited about the life gain. Opponent just, drew a 1 damage spell, whatever. Okay. We've seen this before. We're going to see it again. I'm becoming Abzan Stoneblade. And here it is. The same 12 for the same 12. Full transformation. Let's do it. We just witnessed the difference between a scam deck that tries to play Pioneer and a scam deck that tries to play Modern. The Modern deck's a lot better. I'm going to keep this hand. It's great. Hopefully Veil of Summer gets a giant blowout on turn 1, and then we can start to grind forward from there. This is the kind of game where you're like, please scam me, don't play Ragavan. Please scam me, don't play Ragavan. Show me the grief. Show me the grief. Okay, they're just passing. Cool. If they're passing, holding up against Veil of Summer, that's fine. That eventually favors me. I can Eladamri's Call in their end step now. Grab a Stoneforge. Probably. Or, no, probably it's a Sanctifier end back. The nuts is if I draw a creature, or a land. If I draw a land, I think I want Godless Shrine here, regardless. Godless Shrine. Yes, Eladamri's Call. I'm doing this in response so they can't have Eladamri's Call, but they could just, like, now that you're tapped out, scam me. Pretty solid stuff. Do I want to go Sanctifier here? If I had another land drop lined up, I would grab Stoneforge. But the Sanctifier is a pain in the tuchus for their deck. I'm doing that. They did not grief me on the back end. Come on, land. Second Veil. What a tease. Well, I mean, they can't scam me with Sanctifier in play. They can Thoughtseize me. I will probably respond to Thoughtseize with Solitude and get rid of this Voidwalker. They could Blood Moon here. That would be annoying. Fable. Okay. Am I ready to Solitude Voidwalker? It's the only thing that's really going on. I lose Shalai, who's 1,000 years away from being cast. Yeah, I kind of do want to just get rid of this. Take the pressure off. Make sure to stack the Evoke under the Exile so they don't end up with Solitude in the Void for future Voidwalkers. And I do get it in my graveyard. I could Endurance myself, conceivably. Deck's still not interested in providing for me another land. I'm just going to play the sad miss my land drop gamer at this point. Barely able to use this Devoted Druid for anything good. Who cares? Sanctifier has the Goblet Gem and under control. Discarded 2 lands, so that's a really good Fable. Rock Dread Cantor. I'll Veil of Summer that all day, every day. Enters the battlefield. If it was kicked, target opponent. Okay, so that doesn't force them to discard. They just can't target anyone. Disappointing. They did spend 4 mana on a 2/1 though. Do I want Tyvar? No, I want Devoted Druid. And I want to hold up another Veil. Fable flips here. We're starting to fall behind on just the value game. I turned into Abzan Stoneblade. They turned into Pioneer, which is somehow better against my setup. I cannot block Turok because it has pro white. And in the end step, I'm going to grab Overgrown Tomb. All right, I have Devoted Druid in play. Does it do anything? Probably not. I can Devoted Druid, untap it, play Tyvar, even untap it again, and bring it right back. It's pretty close to free if I care. Also just play Tyvar and minus it right away, see what happens. Green, black. I'm certainly playing Tyvar. And I will untap Devoted Druid to make it happen. If they Bowmaster here, I'll Veil. And I am going to wait for them to target to make sure I get the stuff on the trigger. Had a green floating. Easy money. Lightning Bolt. Okay. Untap in response. That'll show you. I was going to kill that thing anyway. Cool. Alright, Veil of Summer has been fired. I did draw another card. The only legal targets are their own things, but they have big enough ones. Yeah, I guess I should respond to Bowmaster with Veil, not the trigger, because Veil does draw a card. That's the first time I've veiled a Bowmaster. That seems very obvious in retrospect. Whoops. Basic Plains as my land for turn, and then green, colorless, Tyvar. Minus, now we're guaranteed a creature, if there's not a better one. Good thing that died. We did need it. Green, colorless, another Druid. I'm ready to hardcast Cauldron next turn. That's what's going on right now. Their Reflection's active, their Castle Lockpoint's active, they have 4 cards in hand. I don't feel good about this game. But if I get Cauldron to play, that is the type of thing that Rakdos struggles with. They'd have to cast into the fire. Ooh, Goblin Shaman's making moves. Don't like it. Rocks come in. And I'm going to block Goblin Shaman, and I'm not going to block the Orc Army because they have on board the ability to copy Orcish Bowmaster and kill Devoted Druid and Tyvar. Both, rather than just one of them. Alright, what's this 5-drop? Fury. Gross. Okay. I'm not going to make mana in response. Or I can't, because Tyvar's gone. Alright, yeah, these are just dead. And now they have Machine Gun Fury ready. Feeling bad, team. I think we've lost this one. I don't really have a catch-up mechanic other than comboing off. And this Stoneforge is never going to be in play long enough to do anything. Tyvar in my hand. If I Tyvar minus, get Devoted Druid, I can have 1, 2, 3 mana, which is both not enough for Stoneforge, and there's not enough white among it. Yep. We are outmuscled here. Okay. We beat the Rakdos game player who was trying to play Pioneer Rakdos, and we lost to the Rakdos game player who was actually scamming. Makes a lot of sense when you see like what mulligan decisions and play patterns look like with the good cards and not the medium ones. On to the next round.
You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better.
On the drop, round 3, another protection spell into powerful 2-drop. Let's do it. I even have half of Druid combo if Stoneforge doesn't seem right to go with. Okay, this is the opposite of Scam. Botanical Sanctum. I'm not going to lie, I'm not even sure what deck plays Botanical Sanctum. It may be very obvious, but this is usually seen in like Lotus Field combo decks. Like I might just be brain farting on something very obvious, but this does not look like a thing I'd expect. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, Living End. Yep, that makes sense. They are a bug-based deck, or no, they're rug-based, and with the Oliphant and all that now. Okay, so I'm probably in trouble, is what I've heard. Yeah, they're a rug-based deck with a combo kill. Ranger Captain is nutto if it gets into play, but I don't have high hopes for that occurring. If it gets into play before the Living End, is what I'm saying, which I don't think is going to happen. If I get Luxior, yeah, I think I want Luxior, actually, because Luxior plus a top deck Druid can get this Ranger Cap to lethal, even through a resolved Living End. That's what I'm playing towards. And I'm going to attack. Get my damage in. I don't think this deck is going to fire my Stoneforge Mystic the way Rhinos would. And maybe they do, but that's like 2 creatures in their graveyard that they don't have, because they spent mana doing that instead to a thing that's going to die anyway. They just Wakered a Living End into the graveyard. That is both not a creature and 1 down, 2 to go. Okay, if they Living End right now, they have 2 Big O's in play, or like 1 Big O and 1 3/3. Not even sure I care about the 3/3. Haywire Might. Okay. I'm going to cast Ranger Captain and just force the action here. I'm going to get Overgrown Tomb. Sucks to take damage on this tight board like this, but you know, we do what we got to do. This will force the Cascade right now, or else they never get to Cascade again. Yep, they are aware of how this works, it seems. Living End. My creatures go away. You get your Waker and your Architects. Architects can briefly look at my deck before I tutor a creature and shuffle it. They can crack me for 10. And then I put Haywire Might in front of Waker for a turn while I set up Stoneforge for Cauldra that actually stabilizes the board. This kind of looks like a plan, as weird as that is. Yeah, they targeted themselves. They realized that I have a shuffle coming anyway. And do I even want Walking Ballista, or do I want to just start running Haywire Mights under the Waker? Ballista is a win the game spell, if I can get Devoted Druid going. That's several turns away. Yeah, I think I actually just want Haywire Might here. It's just a really good blocker for this stupid card that is huge but doesn't have any kind of evasion. Ooh, Sunken Ruins. They can hardcast Grief. That's so annoying. What a good tech. Alright, well. Probably going to lose my Stoneforge Mystic here. That would be my guess. And then my whole plan is shit. Yeah, putting 1 Sunken Ruins or 1 Urborg in your Living End deck so you can cast your Grief and your Street Wraith if the game gets grindy. That's great tech. Decks didn't always do this, but I think it's become pretty normal now. Oh, they took Luxior. Cool. Oh, maybe that doesn't matter. Grief. I would really like to draw a land that doesn't hurt me. Or it doesn't hurt me too much. Like, fetch for a basic forest would be the nuts here. If I can get both Haywire Mights and Stoneforge into play. Disappointing. Okay. Can I survive? Haywire Might blocks the 7. There's 6 coming at me around it. And yes, okay, cool. Oh, here they are. Here are my creatures. This is what they do. I have to lose my Ranger Cap to survive this turn. Grab Cauldra Complete. Hope these 3 cards in their hand are blanks. And reach something that resembles stability next turn. Here come the jerks. Block the big one. Block the Architects. Leave Stoneforge around. I end up at 3 at the end of all this. They could have also Violent Outbursted for lethal. Just don't cast the Living End on the Cascade. Just Violent Outburst as Garfield intended. This deck could also contain Fury, which they probably would have done pre-combat to just win the game. They could play another Grief and take my Cauldra. Okay, they're doing some cycling, trying to find different action. Cosmic Rebirth. That gains life. That's cool. I actually am 1 short here. Right? Because Yeah, the grief's gonna get through. Bummer. I thought I had it. Thought I figured it out. Oh, I can play Haywire Might, throw Batterskull under the Waker instead of the Cauldron they know about. Use the Batterskull they don't, and then what does that do? They could also just Living End in the end step here and win the game with the straight Riverwinder plus some other cycle. All right, they didn't do that. All right, Batterskull gains 3. I go to 6. If I block Waker and Architects, they have correctly done the math that Cauldron doesn't win the game here. Ooh. Put off the gas? No. They changed their mind. All right. Here we go. Okay. B-Skull is a 3/4 because of Waker. And Lifelink happens immediately, unlike Haywire Might's trigger. So I can block Architects and Waker. I go to 6, and then also back to 3 from combat. Then trigger goes to 5. Batterskull can attack because it has Vigorino. And now I have enough life to survive a grief hit and get Cauldron going. Okay, something's happening here. I can also Cosmic Rebirth in response to a Cascade spell and get back Ranger Cap. I've got options. This is looking pretty cool. Stoneforge can jump for a turn. That thing's done its job. Get in there, B-Skull. Okay. I see moves being made. The old Stoneforge juke, one of my favorite things to do, anytime I play Stoneforge, I talk about it, is tutor one equipment, then put in a different one that they haven't seen, that I just drew naturally. Feels good every time. Grief and Waker coming in. They must have a plan for Cauldron then, because they know about it. The plan must be let it happen, and then Living End it away afterwards. Wait. Reset blockers. I can just double block Grief. And I end up at 3 from this exchange, but Grief's gone. And then I just have to put like some idiot in front of this Waker every turn until I'm satisfied. Oh, they put Germ first. Interesting. Are they going to Fury me? Or what? What's the plan to get the last point on this Batterskull? They also have 6 mana. They could just start casting their big idiots. All of it's viable. Ooh, Shardless Agent. You don't say. Cosmic Rebirth, targeting Ranger Cap Novios. Yes, I'd like it back. What a weirdly templated card. I guess, like, that's just to stop blowouts from Containment Priest or whatever. It's like, yeah, I cast my spell. I would like to use it, as a matter of fact. Ever of Ruin seems like exactly what I want to start stabilizing this game. And then I can cap them. Unfortunately, this does leave the Living End in the deck. They could Violent Outburst again in response. Okay, sure. All right. Tight plays for tight people. Ranger Cap's in my graveyard. Oh, that's why they didn't kill Stoneforge, because now it doesn't come back. Smart. Makes sense. All right, they get Striped Riverwinder, Grief, bunch of stuff. Okay, I get triggers here. This is fun. Oh, what a stack. I'm enjoying myself. I would like to use Stoneforge's ability. I would like to use Ranger's ability. I think I actually just want another Giver here. I'm going to try to just beef up against the Grief, which is going to take Cauldron basically no matter what here. And now I'm just trying to go infinite. Goodbye, Cauldron. Targeting themselves with Architects. All their Living Ends are in the graveyard. Well, at least 3, and most decks only play 3. But with 6 mana, they can start casting Oliphants and whatever. Generous Ents. I just hope that my creatures beat their creatures at this point. Okay, opponent can't cast spells. They do have to Cascade, though. And we get to see if they have anything left. Basically, the whole deck list revealed right now. Grief, Street Wraith, Oliphant, Waker of Waves, Generous Ents. Yeah, they're out of Living Ends, but they do have a bunch of big creatures that I'm going to have to figure out. And there are Force of Negations in this deck. And Otawara, I don't see anything like Fire Ice or Fury. Okay, cool. End step, fetch. Do I need another black? I don't think so. I think green-white is where I am. Another cap. I don't think that's where I want to be. I want to be giver, giver, vizier this turn. Or I already have one giver. Interesting. Giver, giver, vizier. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Huge bummer that Devoted Druid simply has not shown up yet. These Haywire Mites have been awesome. Just 1/1 gain 2 life when it dies. Count it. I probably have some double and triple blocks that are worth making on this board. We'll see what they decide to even attack with. Okay, just firing everything. Math is for blockers. Understood. Okay, double block Grief. And then I think I want Striped Winder gone. Or I can chump that forever starting next turn. Just put a 3/3 in front of a 2/2 here. And I have multiple Viziers and they're not important specifically. And I have an active giver, so I could actually even save that Vizier. This attack puts me to 3. Okay, yeah, I'm fine with this. Alright, yeah, these are my blocks. If they Violent Outburst, I go to 2, and then I'm going to give Vizier protection from blue. Pick up and redeploy Batterskull is 1 mana away from being a viable line. Let's see what big jerks start to come out here. Also, just equip Batterskull with 3 Giver of Runes in play. Just go to town. Next land is a very good one, is what I'm saying. Shardless Agent. In what I believe is 2/2 mode. Yep, there's their deck again. Just revealed, and then 2/2. That's a fun trick, because if I wasn't paying attention, I might have sacked Ranger Cap there, but I do know what's going on, so I didn't. Alright, cool. Found the land. There is a basic forest in my deck. Yeah, and they're just scooping. They see the equipped Batterskull make an unstoppable unit line. Okay. Abzan Stoneblade continues to grind. No appearance of Devoted Druid. A Sanctifier Envec. I'm interested in Endurance, Solitude. All these are good. Blossoming Calm and Veil of Summer. Probably not interested in Blossoming Calm here. Veil of Summer is viable, though. We saw Grief and Force of Negation and Architects. Not that I'm super worried about Architects, but it's there. Aether Vial is really interesting, because if we can both put creatures in auto play at instant speed, things get pretty spicy. Once again, I'm not gonna go there, but it's tempting to just not be a combo deck. If you're gonna bring in 8 cards or 12 cards like last round, you do have to cut some amount of your combo. And I am a creature-based combo deck, so I have concerns. What happens if I leave in 1 Vizier and the Luxior? Right, Haywire Might, although it was dope that game, not actually good. And yeah, the Ranger Captains, All-Stars, kind of force the issue there. They're a 3/3 that comes back, even if my opponent does double Cascade on top of it, like they did there. Cosmic Rebirth. Is that cool? I mean, that gave me more Ranger Caps to do cool stuff with. Kind of looking at Aether Vial. I know I said it's cool, but maybe it's not. And Giver of Runes just gets swept up in the first Living End, but it was integral to taking over that game in the subsequent Living Ends. Okay, this seems like a reasonable compromise of still having combo potential, but also respecting their deck. Oh, I boarded out too many cards. That's lucky. I get 1 back. What do I want? Another Vizier. Keep my combo hardy. I'm not playing 1 Aether Vial. Radiant Longbow, I guess, isn't win the game out. Haywire Might gained a bunch of life and was actually pretty sweet that game, but alright. Radiant Longbow's back in. I don't know if that's right, but I'm out of time to figure it out. Gonna have to mulligan this. It is not good for the matchup and just not a playable hand in general. Here we go. 2 hate cards, 3 lands to cast them all. If I pitch Belladomri's Call to the bottom, which is the card that I am inclined to bottom, I lose Endurance. I have 2 Orzhov lands here, which means that they don't cast Endurance anyway, so sending the second Orzhov land's actually just free. My hand casts everything else. Cool. Now Endurance is alive. I'm just going to play a tapped Shockland. Next turn I can Sanctifier, even though I hardly know her. Ha ha ha, that joke never gets old. Yeah, I think Sanctifier first. That'll exile the Architects. Very generous of them to cycle multiple black creatures. Please don't grief me, though. Usually they save the grief for the turn they're going to go for it, and that's going to result in me just chewing up multiple creatures here. Zap, zap, get rid of those two. Bang. Oliphant can't go to the graveyard now. Only their blue creatures can end up in the graveyard now. Oh, they have Generous End. Their blue and green creatures can end up in the graveyard. No cycle in the end step. Oliphant straight to exile. You love to see it. Stomping Ground. Okay. Yeah, they might have to Living End just to kill this thing and then start rebuilding afterwards. There's another one. Cool. If they're going to have to Living End just to kill something, I'm going to make them... I actually want to make them do that. It's like Ottawar is in their deck. I imagine post-board there's some other stuff in their deck that might be relevant. I'm just going to put the gears on grab Cauldra and just let them know that you better spew off your Wrath of God right now. And then I'll just replay another Sanctifier and another Stoneforge. Tapped Reading Pool in the end step. I guess if they do something like Blood Moon, which I don't think Living End typically does. I know Rhinos does it, but that's a very different deck. They found a blue creature. Now if they go land Cascade Spell, they're not just Wrath of Godding, they're actually getting something. Pretty strong. Now the question... Oh, what just happened? Did they decline their Cascade trigger? Was that a misclick? Oh, they must have misclicked and declined their Cascade trigger. That's awkward. Well, I was going to pitch cast Endurance, which clears their creature they would have gotten back, and Endurance comes back because it's in the graveyard, so I have 3/4 to their 2/2, and then I just replay all my shit. So they were still in trouble, but, you know, that might have been a misclick. I'm not sure what just happened, but we win. On to the next round. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. On the draw for round 4, first appearance of Aether Vial. Let's do it. I also have Giver of Runes into Crack 2-drop, so got a little bit of everything here. Oh dear, Lantern Control. I haven't seen this in a long time, and I don't miss it. I'm not going to lie. Okay, this is going to be weird. Here's your library, here's mine. Marsh Flats does not get my basic lands in the deck, not both of them. I'm just going to get Overgrown Tomb now. And I think I do want Aether Vial involved in this game, rather than Giver. Inquisition of Kozilek on top of their deck. Ancient Stirring's going to change that. Lantern was really good for a while. Just, things changed. But, like, Mox Opal got banned. That was tough for Lantern players everywhere. They do play a lot of discard, though. I have 2 Tyvars. They can't currently manipulate the top card in my deck. They probably take Stoneforge here. That's what I would do. Yep. Okay, the Aether Vial gives me Giver and Devoted Druid this turn. I don't think my life total matters. I'm just going to get the lands that cast all my good spells. Vizier on top. If they can't clear this, they might have to shuffle with the Lantern, and then we're just playing normal Magic against a bad artifact deck. Duress. Okay, that gets one of the Tyvars. Thoughtseize gets the other Tyvar. Gonna put Giver in anyway, in response. They have Godless Shrine in their hand. There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna have infinite green mana, but nowhere to go with it at this stage. And another Devoted Druid on top. Not what I wanted. Do I want to tap my lands? I guess it doesn't matter. I can Vial in the Vizier whenever I feel like it. And I'm gonna leave Giver up. Yeah, now they need to control me from ever hitting a payoff, but Vizier does attack for 2. In the meantime, they need to stabilize the board. Suspend Profane Tutor, that's cool. That's new tech since the last time this deck existed. End step, Vile in. Third Devoted Druid coming in. Vile stays on 2. Horizon Canopy, that's not bad. Attack with Vizier. And even though I can cast this Devoted Druid for free, I think I'd rather leave it in my hand for Vile business. They're drawing Verdant Catacombs, Lantern of Intellect on top. Next turn, they can tutor the payoff. And that's going to be annoying. I don't even want to put this Devoted Druid into play. I don't think it matters. Come on, good card on top. Forest. Hate that for me. Okay, so they are going to draw... Or no, they're not going to draw Lantern of Insight because Profane Tutor happens first. They're going to tutor probably Codex Shredder or Pixis of Pandemonium, whatever, to now control the top of my deck. Unless they have a sweeper. Assassin's Trophy, okay. That one is stuck under Giver of Runes at the moment. Trophy, tutor card, mystery card in their hand. And they're on a 5-turn clock. So they have to lock me out of the game and stabilize the board against Giver of Runes. Okay, tutor card plus Astrophy in hand, Codex Shredder confirmed, Astrophy in hand. Let's do it, I guess. Now I know I can't leave Giver down. My top card is now Vizier of Remedies. Not exactly good. But it does double the clock. So if I attack with this Vizier, if they Codex Shredder themselves trying to find an action spell, then I can draw and Vile in Vizier. That fetch land does not actually change the clock, and there's another fetch on top now. That's cool. I suspect they're going to shred themselves here. Trophying my Horizon Canopy, fascinating. Okay, well, I mean, I'm going to activate it. And then they shred me in response. Nope, they didn't. Okay. Weird. I'm not convinced that's how I would have played that turn, but okay. The trophy fizzles. They're now at 7. Right, Garden gives them a second shredder, but you're Hellbent facing down a ton of damage. Drawing a fetch land, or you can shred it. Lantern doesn't help either here. Shred it. Haywire Might. That one is actually relevant. Disappointing. Ensnaring Bridge, uh-oh. They found a real card. Haywire Might's in. This gains life. Okay, they might have gotten their locks in. This deck has always been all about Ensnaring Bridge. Either they have it and they win, or they don't and they don't. And now I'm in the super awful spot where I have to have 3 game winners in a row because they can control 2 of them. And anytime I don't have a game winner on top, they can use Codex Shredder to control their deck. And they're going to draw gas, and I'm going to draw nothing for a very long time here. And I am running lands like a boss over here. I guess I'll attack for as much as I can right now, because I'm not going to attack ever again. They can decide if they want to kill either Vile or actually get a trade. I think the trade's better. And pass the turn into abject misery for the next however long it takes. There's Ensnaring Bridge. My Devoted Druids can attack. They just don't currently do anything when they do so. I'm not sure if there's anything that makes that different in my deck. Like Exalted is really good under Ensnaring Bridge, but I don't have anything like that. Okay, there's a Profane Tutor. That will eventually be another win the game card. Another Codex Shredder. Alright, well, we can't win this game, but I am going to make them play it out. Someday, maybe, I'll have a card that does anything in my hand. Radiant Longbow on top. They got to mill that. Lair of the Hydra on top. They don't have to mill that. And there's almost a trick here. Unfortunately, Lair of the Hydra. I can't activate it and make it a 0/0, then attack, then make it a 6/6 or whatever. Because it would die as a 0/0. Yeah, they're just aggro milling me now. This is actually really interesting, because like I don't want to sound like a salty opponent who is telling my opponent they're playing bad even though they're beating me. But in the Lantern control world, when your opponent has a dead card on top, I think you're supposed to just let them have it. Even if you have 3 Codex Shredders and you like your top card, just spend a turn not milling anyone. Because at some point, there was going to be like some moment where you wish you could mill another card, but you can't. And in paper, it works a lot better than MTGO, where you actually do have to deck your opponent. All right, here's a fetch land. Doesn't matter. Drawing a second bridge. They have an Urza Saga now and a Pixis. Surgical Extraction in the main deck. Roadie. We're getting information, though. My Luxior is gone. My Walking Ballista is gone. Shalai. That one's actually nuts if I end up with it. Target player mills a card. I guess I fetch here. I don't even know if I have fetchables left, but let's mix it up. Giver of Runes, don't care. And they should leave that Devoted Druid there because it doesn't do anything. Urza Saga, also unbeatable. Yeah, this is a deck that got a lot worse when Force of Vigor existed. Got a lot worse when Mox Opal was banned, but Urza Saga, big upside. They're extracting my Tyvars. I guess I'll concede now. I'm just watching paint dry at this point. They're not going to time out. Nothing matters. Okay, Force of Vigor come in. Outland Liberator come in. Veil of Summer come in. Blossoming Calm's actually super relevant because you gain hexproof until your next turn. That's a whole turn where they can't Codex Shred me. Fascinating. Hushbringer Endurance. And Endurancing myself can make them go through my deck again, which if I was playing for time is relevant, but I'm not. I'm not doing that. I think I do want to combo this deck. Aether Vial's a dead draw they can manipulate more easily. Haywire Might would have been great. So I have 2 Besagus, 2 Haywire Mights in the main. Just they had the hooks in before those became relevant. I'm so suspicious of this Viridian Longbow. I think Batterskull's probably bad. Like if Kaldra gets a shot to shot, I'll shoot it, but Batterskull gaining life, not really a thing. I'm either going to be just running roughshod over them because I killed their ensnaring bridge, or they're going to have complete control of the game, and there's not a lot of space in between. I think I can shave a Vizier. I want to leave the Stoneforge tutorable things in. And we did see Assassin's Trophy. Not a lot of targets for Giver. I can shave one of those. Okay, I'm doing this. This hand sucks. Doesn't do anything till turn 3, and even that's not good. Mulligan. Okay, this one's good. I'm going to keep, and I'm actually going to bottom Cosmic Rebirth. It's so close between the land and the Rebirth. I'm actually bottoming the land. All right. Lands are replaceable. Cosmic Rebirth, pretty good against the deck that's trying to mill you out. So let's keep the density of spells. Really wish I had any of my Veils or other thing. Blossoming Calms around. Overgrown Tomb tapped. Opponent's playing Pixis. See if they start aggressively blind exiling. Didn't happen yet. Temple Garden. Mystic. Stoneforge Mystic. And I'm going to get Kaldra and just put them on notice. If they're going to Pixis here, they should have done it in response to Stoneforge just for a chance to hit the card that I would like. Yeah, they're just not doing it. Coward. Now we're at that friction point where I kind of wish I had the 3rd land. I get to duress my Kaldra. If that's what they're worried about, which I think they are. Come on, land. Ooh, they took Rebirth. Fascinating. They want to square up against Kaldra. Okay. I can indulge that. They might have like Shuldred's Edict or just shove Ensnaring Bridge next turn and figure this isn't the problem. But I'm still gonna inflict damage where I can. They do have the bridge. They have 4 cards in hand. Luxior. I guess I play Vizier here and attack with Stoneforge Mystic. We're a Force of Vigor away from winning the game, but they're about to tutor their Lantern, and this is how quick the hooks can get in, folks. So the card I would have bottomed if I didn't bottom the land on my mulligan is the card they took with Duress. Like, they're clearly worried about that. All right, now Tyvar's off anyway. Devoted Druid's still alive, though. Oh, they found a Lantern. I was just going to say, and they didn't tutor a Lantern. That's good news. But here it is. Ranger Cap versus Blossoming Marsh. Okay. I couldn't cast that anyway. Thank you. Now I have Haywire Might available. Clear this Ensnaring Bridge. GG. That's what I was talking about last game, where you can't just, like, mill random shit. I've missed my land drop. It's turn 4. I have 2 lands. You know I don't have a third one. You don't care about Ranger Cap anyway because of Ensnaring Bridge. Now you used your thing, and I'm going to remove your Ensnaring Bridge. Let's go. Been a little too pushy on the cards. Okay, Haywire Might. Exile Ensnaring Bridge. And I do think that killing the bridge is better than the engine here. Like, they're just dead in 2 hits. Figure it out. Go. If they're holding a second Ensnaring Bridge, like, I don't know what you want from me. But here we are. I'm making my move. Yeah, you have to be, like, obnoxiously patient to play this deck. Saga and Boseiju, they don't want Blooming Marsh, so clearing Boseiju is good. Now I have Blossoming Calm, which lines up well against that Duress. 3 cards left in their hand. Jeez, they only play 4 of those, and they haven't found tutored for one, so here we go. They can also exile Cauldron now. My life is pain. Blossoming Calm. I guess I'm going to play Luxior. And attack with Stoneforge Mystic. Get in whatever damage I can, wherever I can. Saga ticks up. They exiled a Profane Tutor. Their hand has Duress in it. Another Pithing Needle on top. It's cool they didn't fire the Duress. That lets me keep attacking. They can block and exile stuff here. What does this even do? Equipped Permanent isn't a Planeswalker. It wasn't anyway. Alright. Got it. It does nothing. If I'm not comboing off. They're giving another Pixis. Drawing Pithing Needle. And they get a tutor this turn. Yeah, I think we're dead. That turn where they got too aggressive with their Pixis and lost their Ensnaring Bridge and then just had the other one. Sure, whatever. This deck 100% about having Ensnaring Bridge in play. No other card matters. Alright, well, I'm going to Blossoming Calm this, but you knew that. And Pixis doesn't target. Shredder does. Okay. That was another, like, weird fire off of Shredder, clearing a card that doesn't matter, and now I'm drawing a land, and I can play spells again. I don't know. They're just being really aggressive about this. I would like to concede and move on with my life, but they're bleeding just enough value here and there that I'm like, I don't want to play it out. Okay, so Blossoming Calm rebounds. This is another turn of not getting shredded. My top card is good right now. It's not, of course not. Sure. Alright, yeah, shock. I have infinite life, basically. That's not how they win. Yeah, Tyvar still turned off from the Pithing Needle, and I cannot attack. Cool, they Pixis away my bad card. There's another bad card on top. Pixis again. Get me. Do it, do it, do it. Be aggressive. Disappointing. And Profane Tutor wakes up this turn. Thoughtseize sucks. Come on, Pixis. Pixis. All right, milling yourself. Fine. Another Gardens. Gardens can be more Shredders, more Pixies. Doing something here. Surgicaling my Blossoming Calm. You know I can just cast that, right? Alright. I'm going to cast it. Card is an instant. And this will shuffle my deck, get rid of the Horizon Canopy that I don't want. Force of Vigor. Real shame that they have Pixis. Once again, they shuffled me into a good one, but they can clear it. Okay, yep, nothing I can do about that. The Duress on top of your deck, okay. Copying Pixis. Alright, I just don't want to be here anymore. Classic Lantern control experience. They either have Ensnaring Bridge or they don't, and then the game is over, or it's not, and that's it. I probably could have leaned on this opponent for more clock. Like game 1, I conceded when they had a lot of clicks left to make. Game 2, I am conceding with a lot of clicks, and they're 3 minutes behind me. Like if you're in a modern showcase challenge or something that matters a lot, probably worth making them play it out. In paper, it's the opposite. Know when you're locked and just get out of there. Make time for the other games. But I did what I was supposed to do. Put lethal on the board, killed their ensnaring bridge. They had another one. GG. On to the final round.
The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structured tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.event/subscribe.
I'm on the play for the final round, and I have access to a Tyvar, double devoted druid. No mother this time, unfortunately, giver of runes. But I'm ready to run this. I'm going to keep it. This hand is extremely resilient to removal and discard because it's 2-pair, and the 3-drop gets back the 2-drop. So we're kind of like 4 devoted druids here. There's modern decks that can just murder this anyway, and there's decks where this is going to be great. Let's find out what we're playing against. I'm going to have to fetch Godless Shrine with my Marsh Flats unless I draw another land that changes that. A mountain. Oh yeah, Haywire Might. Okay, I drew up Plains. Haywire Might. What do? You come back with Tyvar. Alright, block. Yeah, I'll gain 2 life and draw a card. Sounds good. Boseiju kills Eidolon of the Great Revel, if I care. Burn is the control deck in this matchup, or at least in the current setup, which is pretty interesting. They're a deck full of removal spells, but I'm a deck that's going to present danger often. Eladamri's Call on top of my deck right now. No block. Inspiring Vantage. Suspend Riftbolt. And Skewer my critics. Yeah, sure. That has happened. I think I want to take the damage to get Tyvar in right now. Because I drew Plains, I'm going to go for Overgrown Tomb now. But I have Boseiju. That's a 3rd green source, and Devoted Druid's Infinite Green. Alright, I'm still on Team Godless Shrine, I guess. There's no pain-free way to get black here. And between their attack and their pending Riftbolt, they can clear both the creature and the Tyvar. Just on board. But I'm going to try to do my thing here. There's a Vizier. I could also get back Stoneforge Mystic and just put a different kind of pressure on them. Because I still have a Devoted Druid and I have a second Tyvar. I'm going to get this Batterskull. I'm not far from just casting that. And if they spend effort on Tyvar, that's life I have to work with. I don't know. It's a pretty interesting spot. I expect the Riftbolt to hit Stoneforge. Yep, you're gone. If Tyvar had gotten back Devoted Druid, I could have cast the other one and had 2 Druids going into this turn. Maybe that's better than Stoneforge. And then the other Tyvar represents Infinite Green. Maybe I blew it there. Aether Vial revealed to Goblin Guide. Feels bad, man. That's why that card is not always included in decks. It's a pretty bad draw at this stage of the game. Okay. Maybe I do the thing now that I probably should have done last turn, which is Tyvar, pick up Devoted Druid, cast the other Devoted Druid, make them have 2 things. And I'm going to play Boseiju. And Tyvar, I'm going to leave up white, because I can do other stuff too. I'm going to have lots of green mana, is the thing. 3 Tyvar. Minus. I'm going to get back Devoted Druid this time. And I'm going to minus to make 2 mana. If they bolt this thing now, I basically don't care, because I could still cast the other Druid. Green, green, new Druid. And I can play Vial here. And then I can Eladamri's Call on the end step, and they have to kill 2 Devoted Druids, or else they're facing down Batterskull at minimum. Or in infinite attack with Lair. Alright, there's stuff to do here. I could also call for Stoneforge Mystic and use Tyvar to immediately zap in Right, they're going 4 to the dome. 3 cards left in hand. I'm at 13. There is kind of a game of chicken here that I think I might have messed up on already, which is if I go to untap my Druid, they can zap it. Still going face here. Stoneforge Mystic on top of the deck. Oh, I don't even have to call now. I can just put Batterskull into play. Do I want to do that is the question. Is that enough? Do I want to present a win? All right, I'm going to try to present the... If this works, I also put Batterskull into play. Eladamri's Call in the end step. I can get Vizier. And they need to kill 2 creatures right now to stop me from having infinite mana. Which, good chance they're able to do. Didn't happen yet. Windswept Heath, not GG. But I have the Lair, so... It's either going to work or it's not, basically. Fire and Vizier. Can you kill both Devoted Druids? Maybe I should have floated green with Tyvar before doing this. I can still get to 5 for Batterskull, though. Okay, they just don't have 11 points here and they're dead. Sick. Okay, cool. Burn! Finally, these Blossoming Calms coming in clutch. Sanctifier they can win around, but like just having this thing that bricks all their creatures forever is cool. Solitude can buy me time, and it can slow down their stuff. Outland Liberator can destroy Roiling Vortex and Eidolon of the Great Revel. Cosmic Rebirth says gain 3 life on it. That's some of the text of that card. I like that. I don't like Vial here. I don't think I like Vial in the deck. I've played a bunch of different versions of this, or at least been aware of different versions because of what I've done on the channel, and I know Giver of Runes is a flex slot, Aether Vial's a flex slot. This one's playing both, which I don't know if I love Aether Vial in a format where Scam is the best deck. Those are a lot of slots that could be something else, or it could just be the totally reasonable thing where you just try to go fast in game 1 and then you board out your Vials or Givers in most game 2s and slow down a little bit. I do like the idea of going over the top of this deck. Shalai gives me Hexproof, which is pretty bonkers against Burn, just as a card. I'm kind of looking at Haywire Might. It does kill Roiling Vortex and just block gain 2 life is a pretty big swing. I don't think I need that, and like Force of Vigor hits those things too, but I don't need to go like crazy ham on that. I don't think I like Luxior. If I could be Luxior, if Stoneforge Mystic is going to do stuff, it's going to put Batterskull into play in this round. And I'm not sure I like Longbow either. Like, I get that these are win conditions and like all part of the combo. Maybe I just don't get it, or I don't like it. And specifically, like, I still like having infinite mana. I can still Ballista. I can still just cast my weapons. Okay, I'm going in with this. This hand hurts. There's no removal, no life gain. I'm just all in on Stoneforge Mystic with Horizon Canopy as one of the 2 lands that I have. I think I have to mulligan this. This one I actually like a lot more. Keep this. I have Pain-Free land. I can play Overgrown Tomb tapped and send one of the fetches. And then I actually have like 1, 2, 3, gain 3 life, rebuy a thing, Ranger Cap can tutor a thing. Like, this is kind of slow, but at least it's not actively killing me on its own. There's Horizon Canopy. I just said my hand's not killing me on purpose. They started on a Rift Bolt. I wonder how aggressively I would use Ranger Cap. Like, if my opponent suspends a Rift Bolt and passes into my turn 3, do I silence them and just gain 3 life? Probably. Guess it depends on how much a 3/3 matters on that board. Alright, opponent with the Swift Spear no spell pass. Being the creature combo deck does kind of put them in a spot where just firing off a lightning bolt there might be wrong, even though it's good for the extra damage. Saving their fetch lands, this is an opponent with Searing Blaze, or at least access to it. Yep. And minusing the Druid doesn't matter, because Searing Blaze has 2 targets. It won't fizzle, you still take 3. It targets a creature, and it targets that creature's controller, so there's no trick there. I wish there was. Okay, so I could play Ranger Cap here when I'm at 11, or I could Cosmic Rebirth, but I think I want to get the Cap train going. Cap is big enough to tangle with Monastery Swift Spear. They didn't play a land last turn, which they might be saving for reasons. Searing Blaze related reasons. I think I just want this Haywire Might. Yeah, I'm just trying to gain life in, because next turn I can Cosmic Rebirth and play Haywire Might, and that's +5 life and a bunch of stuff in play. And we're just bridging the gap up to Batterskull. At least I hope that's how this works. I don't know. We might just die to their 4 cards. Dome. Dead. Once I untap with my surprise gain 3 life, I'll feel a lot better about my situation. I'm blocking the heck out of this. If they have enough spells to beat Ranger Cap in combat, then they have enough spells to kill me. So make my block. Yes. Okay, deal 4 to me. Sure. You did it. And deal 3 to me. Told ya. Guess I might as well silence them now. Swiftspeaker doesn't have trample. Just in case. And I believe I should... Oh, man. Giving me hexproof. Suddenly, I have something interesting to do with 3 mana that's not that. Okay, I'm going to Cosmic Rebirth Sorcery Speed to make sure I don't get bolted in response. And yeah, I'm just going to get set up here. Get this back. I'm at 6. Tutor. This one's going to be Walking Ballista. Get creatures under control. Play Haywire Might. All right, I got another big creature, and I got a creature I'm very happy to jump with, and I'm in double bolt range, but not single bolt range. And then Shalai chillin'. Maybe it's right to just shove Shalai there. I actually don't know, but I feel like if I get a turn to breathe here at all and then shove Shalai, then I'm in really good shape versus just hoping my hexproof holds up. We're going to combat. Opponent took a long pause in their main phase. I'm not sure what that's about. Like Skullcrack is annoying and could punch through what I'm doing, but the fact we're in combat, as soon as I can put Haywire Might under a creature, we're in good shape. Okay, sweet. They're just passing. Now we will just see what they got with the Shalai. I don't think there's any good in silencing them first, because if they have it, they would just bolt. Though they would have just bolted on their turn. I don't know what's being represented right now, or what I should be reading from this hand. Whatever it is, we're about to find out. Skullcrack. Can't gain life this turn. That's a bummer. Okay. Oh, can't do anything about that. Now I have hexproof. Cool. I should probably be attacking. Yeah, I think so. I guess if they bolt Shalai, they can just block here. But then they're down a bolt, and they didn't kill Shalai. Okay, here we are. I have hexproof. I have a creature that gains life in play. Skullcrack does target for the 3 damage. It doesn't target for the life loss. Like, they can crack themselves. Flame Rift, not legal in this format. Just trying to think of how they deal 3 through a hexproof X4. All right, starting by drawing cards. I like that. Emergency meeting. Just got to go wide around me with creatures. Another Canyon. And Ballista for 2 this turn, which threatens to kill Swiftspear and can kill my Haywire Might at will. I think that's better than Stoneforge Mystic. Or I can Stoneforge Mystic and Ballista for 1. Maybe that's actually better. Ballista for 1. I really just want access to gain 2 life at instant speed. And Tutor, grab Cauldra. I think Ranger Cap can still rumble here. Or Shalai should rumble. It's the same 3 damage, and I'm more worried about blocking with Shalai, and I don't think they're deck place flyers. Okay, here we go. Sometimes Burn has like Path to Exile in their deck. Hope that's not happening. Just see them draw a card in the instant, please. Okay, cool. We got away with it. I don't think we're at the silence in your upkeep phase of the game either. A 3/3 is worth more than a silence right now. Every card I care about's an instant. And by every card I care about, I mean Path to Exile. And they gave up. Can't beat the hexproof. Okay, so we Druid comboed once this league, and it did not win the game. No, we we did it once against the burn opponent when it wasn't infinite, it was just Batterskull, but they determined it was enough. And then there was another time where we had infinite mana the whole game and we just didn't find a payoff because we were lantern locked. I mean, part of that might just be my play style. Like, you could, like, in all of the situations where I boarded low on the combo to make room for 8 to 12 cards in the sideboard and just do something different, I could see an argument where you just bring in like your Veils and Blossoming Calms and still just try to shove your combo. Maybe I'm just naturally inclined to take the mid-range Stoneforge Mystic plan when I can versus this combo version. I don't know. Maybe that's the beauty of the deck, where you can be fast if you need to be fast and you can slow down if you need to. Anyway, we got a positive record. Splitting the uprights with Scam, beat 1, lost 1. 50-50 against the top deck in the format right now, and losing the Lantern Control in 2023. I mean, I wasn't ready for that one. Was not on my bingo card today. As far as deck building advice, I really don't like the Aether Vial. That could probably just be something else. Like, having Vial and Tyvar both as engines seems like a lot. I really, really like Tyvar. I've liked him in every game or every league I've played with him. Just super cool. Aether Vial, though, kind of a bad top deck, and even in your opening hand, it's like fine, but this deck's already good at just casting its creatures and winning the game, so that's 4 slots that could just be more Magic cards. K Renegade, thank you for facilitating this deck that I played on behalf of your friend who is unnamed. Thanks for the deck. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.